that I have.
And did you report every experience of SA?
Yes.
Every single experience.
I have. It doesn't happen to me that many times.
Can we say you were so brave then for having the courage to do that? But some women.
It's.
What if the person you're supposed to report?
No, and I'm saying argue, and it's arguably, because it's like nowadays you can report someone grabbing your butt at a bar.
But if that's not warranted or that's not invited,
but some people don't think that's like a higher enough,
doesn't
report.
matter.
No, I wouldn't report
and at the end of the day,
that's what I say. It's so broad, but I'm saying like if you're, to me, okay, it doesn't make sense to me if you can come on a podcast and talk about something, but you can't talk about it to the police.
Right.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
So I understand that some people, like, okay, they might not want to talk about it publicly, or they might, like, if they're afraid, then they wouldn't go to my podcast and they wouldn't go to the police either. But
so what's your point?
But I still think it's selfish. I think if you
so you're telling me I'm selfish for being a 17-year-old girl who lives in a hostel. You don't know what I've experienced previous to that, for not reporting my boss, who's probably about 40 years old. And excuse me, let me land. Don't interrupt me.
No, I'm just saying yes.
I'm not asking you. I was asking Pearly Things, right?
Saying yes.
I'm asking you if you think I'm selfish. I'm a child at this point. Yeah, I've been sexually
harassed.
All of them things that you can say. By old, you can't tell me nothing. Whatever your opinion is, that's your business, yeah. Because I know my situation, yeah, and what I have walked through in that situation. Right now, I'm 33 years old, yeah. So it's different now. Of course, I can sit down. I work in the community, but at that age, yeah, that young age, I am a child. I can't even open a bank account on my own, yeah, and you're telling me I am selfish. I am selfish. I am selfish.
You can have a bank account.
Well, whatever you can't do,
you can do
illegally under 18.
People don't have that education.
And
at 17, you don't know you can open a bank.
You're trying to make jokes, and you're trying to interject, and you're trying to diverge from something that is very, very important, and a lot of young women have experienced. Have you gone through SA?
Wait, Pearl,
no. Okay, you asked me the question first.
Go on, let it.
Then you go on this rant.
I did go on a rant because I felt like it. Sorry, Pearl.
Okay. Do I think that's selfish? Yes.
Yeah.
I think because then other girls have to deal with it. Like I just think if something happened to me that was so traumatizing, like I wouldn't want other girls to go through that.
You're like, basically, I can't judge other people. You can say what you want and feel what you want, yeah, and have your opinion, and that doesn't mean that much to me, because you don't know what people go through. What your capacity is at 17, I don't know if you went through your experiences at that age, and if you was living in a hostel at that age, and if you had gone through what I had gone through at that age, yeah? We're different people. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I know.
You sure?
I know we're different people.
We're different people. So that's what I'm saying. You might have the capacity. You might have the support. You might be living at home. You might have your mum to rub your back at the police station. I wasn't in that situation. So there are many people that are experiencing things, and I haven't got no judgment for you. Do what you can do, because why is it up to the victims to find and lick down, as a child, to build up a case against these people? When you have the capacity, yes. I encourage, I support, but find an organisation. If you don't think you can do it on your own, if you are unsure, get the support that you need. The main thing is that you have got support to get through the trauma of you get your bum grabbed at a nightclub, but there's varying different traumas.
There's an organisation, it's called the police. So listen to this. I've just listened to you. Sorry. Can I talk? Because I've just listened to you. We've listened.
Scars on me from the police. Okay. Why am I going to go to them when I'm being a...
So what you're doing now is
we've
let you speak. We've let you tell your story. We've let you tell your passion. But I'm sorry, but the world doesn't owe any one of us understanding. Lots of people are going through lots of things. End of the day, it's very selfish for you to be assaulted by a man or whatever you said, and he's 40 years harassed or whatever it is, but it's made you feel this strongly about it. It's gone into your life and it's obviously followed you. You have let this man go into the world and possibly do it to many other women before. This is like knowing a man is actually like, for example, if someone touched kids and you knew they did that and you never...
I was a kid.
No, wait,
hold on.
No, you wasn't. You're 17. Let's not do this. Please stop doing... No, listen.
Technically.
Okay, so if you're going to keep doing this, then we're not going to be able to get off. Because basically, you said to me, I couldn't open, at 17, you can open a bank account. You can open a bank account at like 11 years old. What tends to happen is a lot of people come over here and they're trying to act like, oh, when I wasn't an adult. At 17, you knew right from wrong. End of the day, if you had any family, any people around you, if you didn't, cool, due to scenario, I understand that. But you have the police there. You cannot come onto a platform and be this fluid and be this articulate and challenge Pearl and say to myself, oh, you know what, I couldn't go to the police. There's nobody around. The police is there. Then you say to me, okay, I got attacked by the police. Okay, so you don't have, or whatever it is you say.
Scars on me
okay, cool.
So why am I going to go to the police?
Okay. So now,
who at 15 have assaulted me.
Okay, cool. So now we can't go to the police, right? So you don't.
Who do we go to?
Well, I'm just discovering.
Who do we report it to?
Wait, I'm just discovering.
My manager. Who do we report? I'm asking you.
You're telling me you can't go to the police. Most people can go to the police, but you're saying to me, so I don't have to take this on board. Do you have?
Would you like to see the scars?
See what you're doing is
because he said he don't believe if you haven't reported. Do you get what I'm saying? What you're saying is very
no. Hold on a second.
Alex, come in. No. Because
what you're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. And the reason you're not letting me finish is because the moment I do, you don't have nothing to push back on. You just really
talk, big man. Talk. Let me hear what you want to say.
Can I present something a second? 1 second. Can I just?
You know what it is?
Guys. Let him finish.
Because the thing is, we're not going to be able to have a conversation if you keep doing this because you keep getting triggered. Why are you getting so triggered?
It's like that.
No, if this is trauma, let's not talk about it because you're getting very triggered by it and you don't have to speak about it. If this is causing you trauma, because we can't even have a conversation, in order for me to have a conversation, we're going to have to ask you some questions. We're going to have to diverge. And every time I do, you get triggered and you interrupt me. So I don't want to do it if we can't do it, Paul. There's no point.
Say what you have to say. You said you're going to land. Is that what you had to say? Is that what you had to say?
No, Alex, take it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let me present something to you, Steph, yeah?
Yes, Alex.
For the rest of us to just listen to. So, Steph, let's say you were looking right now at a 17-year-old girl who has just experienced, you're a fly on the wall, you see a 17-year-old girl who's just experienced what you went through with the police, with those situations. What, right now, sitting here now, what do you think are the steps that 17-year-old girl should take?
I'd like to hear from the rest of the panel. I've heard from two men.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, man.
I'm asking.
He's asking you a question.
Answer the question.
Yeah, I'm asking you directly.
My advice and my concern is for her mental health and that she is supported. So my priority over speaking to the police, which I think is the best course of action if she feels able to do so, is to make sure that somebody she trusts, whether it's a member of her family, whether it's a friend, whoever, is aware of her situation. Because if she's feeling low, you know what I mean? That's my concern. You don't my general concern.
You don't think the number one concern would be to stop it from happening again? Because it happened to her. So now it could happen to 10 girls or it could happen to one girl.
I think it's a point of view situation that
Definitely.
we've got going on.
I was going to say, it's based on
someone coming from trauma and someone coming from stoicism. Yeah. So it's two completely different point of views that don't interject. So I get what you're saying in the sense that, say it with your chest, right? Those things happened to you. They were awful. I'm very sorry. But your statistic is, you're coming at her with maths. Your maths is off, right? And she's saying these things happened to me. So obviously there's going to be a complete
So can I just stop you for a second? I'll let you go on. You know what it is? I've come on this platform before. I have 3 sisters. I have 4 nieces. Like, I've just been spending the whole day with my niece. You can look at my story, playing with them, yeah? I have a very good relationship with my younger sister, and we speak about a lot of things. So if you said if you don't have people around you and you can't go to the police, then I'm more concerned that there's men around here and doing things to women, because I keep hearing this, and this is not how I was raised. So I'm like, what can we do to stop this? And whenever I try to speak about what can we do to stop this, or what can we do to at least bring more awareness to it, it just goes round and round and round.
A suggestion of what people can do to stop this is perhaps, okay, right, something's awful has happened to you. You don't feel like you can say it. Right? You don't feel like you have that safe space to say it. So you hold on to it. It becomes an internal trauma. And then when someone mentioned it to you, you fly off the handle. That's how most people handle these situations. But what you're saying is, what can I do? So when someone flies off the handle, don't come at them with maths. Come at them from, I understand that this reaction comes from a place of fear and anger.
You're asking him to communicate like a woman. He's a man.
I'm asking, no. In fact, I'm asking him to just communicate with me.
No, you're asking him to communicate.
Well,
like
then
a
you're
woman.
putting different variances.
Let me. Sorry. 1 second.
Again, we come to the dichotomy of words.
Yeah.
One second. I think this is interesting. So
it goes back to macho-ness and like, you know, dominance of men overpowering women.
Toxic
masculinity. If you can't
One
speak
sec.
you know, in a very subtle manner, or you can't divert your vocabulary.
Alex, you're going to jump in after me, but hold on a second. What you're doing is what? See, okay, so you're doing tone police, and we get this every single week.
So.
No, because you've literally just done what the girl did the last week, and the girl did the last week. If you go look on my story on TikTok, it's going viral. Every single time a man speaks, I have a woman.
It's every time a man makes a point. It's every time a man makes a point. Now it's your tone.
So hold on.
I wasn't even trying to.
No, but what I'm trying.
Let me come in.
Alex, let me just say, and you can just literally come after me. Pearl will let you go. But the reason I want to speak about this, because men, we speak direct. We are not women.
I understand that.
So we have a different vocal tone. We have a different bass in it, right? When a man articulates himself, when men are direct, what women tend to do is we go around the houses. We've just spent a lot of time going around to get to the bottom of something. I completely understand what you're saying, but when you speak about men's tone, we are not women, and you don't want us to be women.
That's the point that I was making. I thought that you didn't understand what I was trying to say. Pearl was saying that she was basically trying to make you speak as if you was a female, and that's something you can't do.
Okay,
and
cool.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Is the reason of this whole topic, which is men harassment within the workplace, and what we were saying about how men can come across towards women when we are in a situation.
Do you think, Alex, you just take this from me?
You can't. What's the word? Like you can't. You can't like.
Be a woman.
Adapt. That's the word I'm looking for.
Do you feel I'm not being sensitive to her?
No, it's adaptation. You can't adapt. You're not even choosing to be on a level to be like, you know what, let me try and work out. No one's telling you to be a female because physically you can't be.
Yeah.
We understand that. But there's a part of your brain that can click.
So
and try and understand how to, you know, come across
but basically,
a bit subtle towards a female.
What you want me to do? What you want me to do is
Mentalize.
No,
I'm trying to say you should talk in a tone.
No, because basically what you want me to do is you want me to basically tiptoe around this whole. No, because basically all I've done is simply ask her a question. I've listened to what you've said. I've asked you why didn't you report it. You've told me you couldn't go to the police. You told me you got scars. You've told me all the different things. Yeah, cool. But if there's my concern is that when this happens, women don't, and there's men that's walking around and it's continuing to happen to. So when I say, what can we do? Yeah, because with a girl in your situation now, and she hasn't got brothers, she hasn't got family, she's in a hostel as well. Yeah, what does she do? She can't go to the police. What does she do?
Someone just gave you an example of what you can do. Someone just gave you an example as a man, what you could do for a woman or a young girl in that situation. Someone else is giving you an example of what you can do. I was asked what I'd advise other young people in this situation to do. So if you ask in a question, feel free to listen to some options. You don't have to take them on as, I think these are valid examples.
I'm listening.
There's even an advert on TV that states exactly this, where it's like a guy's in the park with his friends, whatever, not a woman walks past, a guy turns around, starts rubbernecking. Oh yeah, nice one. Rubbernecking is like a saying of like when a guy, you know, breaks his neck to like put gestures at a woman or just throw things out. You just
throw things? Huh?
Yeah, throw things out verbally, like messages, like maybe you can say,
like a wolf whistle.
He cat calls.
Yeah, there's so many different terminologies, but rubbernecking is a terminology. Obviously, cat call is another terminology.
What does the cat calling have to do with them?
Cat calling is more a vocalization, whereas the rubbernecking is the turning of the neck.
Yeah, but it was both.
So
that's
it's like,
my point.
It's like when they're like, damn.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But wait, is
that bad?
No, I'm giving you. I'm trying to land.
I'm just asking.
No, it's not necessarily that's a bad or a good thing, but the point I'm trying to make is the advert was stating sexual harassment, and they were saying that basically within that situation, let me land quickly, the guy turned around and his friend basically was like to him, like, don't do that. Like, he stepped in and allowed him to like understand that maybe that woman might feel it's inappropriate. Maybe to his mind, he's just like, oh, what's your number? You look nice. Or them jeans look tight, or whatever he's
Do you think
say.
that's SA?
To me personally, I've got a bit of a stronger exterior and interior, so those things don't really faze me depending on how I'm approached. So for myself, no. But for another woman that's a bit more fragile than me, less...
Do you think that's confusing for men?
It can be at times, because
like, the number one, like even with the workplace, like the number one, before dating apps, the number one place that people would meet was work. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of confusing because sometimes girls are into it when their bosses hit on them.
This is the thing.
And other times, like girls actively seek out their bosses and try to sleep with them.
But
women are different.
Reading the room.
Women are different.
Read the room.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, if there's a female who's interested in her boss, that's different to a female who the male manager needs to read the room that colleague is not interested.
Do you think girls ever give mixed signals? Or flirt for attention?
We definitely do.
I don't know. I think
who said we definitely?
We definitely do.
So do you think that's confusing for men? And sometimes,
I feel like women have sex appeal. Like we have sexual attractions that we can, sometimes put out consciously or unconsciously to male counterparts, and they can take it upon themselves to decide whether it's deliberate or, she just accidentally walked past me and her bum was shaking, as if was she shaking her bum when she was walking past me.
Right, but I'm saying like one girl, he might turn and say damn, and one girl might think that's disgusting and be like, traumatized, and one girl might be like, okay, and so you don't think that's confusing for men?
It can be, but I feel like that's where you then break the ice with vocalization. You start vocalizing like, raw, like, do you feel comfortable with what I'm saying? Or, you try to break the ice. Some guys don't tend to go into it. They just keep it at that level of, snappiness. Like they're trying to be charming or witty or whatever it is. Where other guys have a bit more context to them. They will be like, I would like to speak to you. Or, I thought that comment would be, something that would get your attention.
This is why I don't move to girls. I said it before. I say it to Cameron. No, I don't. I don't move to girls. I haven't moved. How
do you meet women?
I'll tell you, girls move to me.
How did you find your girl?
No, I'm being serious. Girls, like, I'm not joking. Girls move to me. I haven't moved to girl in the longest time.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're being sexually harassed or maybe put upon?
No, okay.
How do they move to you? Like, grab your thigh?
No, see, this
I'm
is
just wondering.
So when a man moves to you, how does he grab your thigh?
And some guys have done different.
But that's not moving
Everyone
to you.
Is different. Is it not? That might be in his mind. I mean, that might be his level of.
Okay. I think if you don't know how to approach someone, if I move up to a girl I don't know and I grab her thigh, what do you think's gonna happen to me? We're just speaking about this, so let's just take that away. If you allow,
Paul just said, a girl might accept that and another girl might not.
No, but no man should be. No man. Okay, guys, let me put in the camera. No. So when you say guys do, it's some guys, the guys you deal with. I've never
dealt with a guy that's ever done that.
Okay, so then who are we talking about?
I'm giving experiences, and obviously I've been in this lifetime a while to have experiences and see things. Not necessarily every experience is my personal experience. It might be a vicarious experience through someone else's life. But
I think so when we're talking about experience, let's try to keep to what we know, what's happened to us.
What I know is that men are very forward, and at times when they're being forward,
some men.
I can only talk on men as a.
No, because if I say because when I say for example, when we say women, we say modern women because we're not speaking about all women, and when we speak
modern men. A lot of modern men are very forward, especially with the lifestyle and living that is being accommodated these days. They're very forward with their personas, should I say, the way they want to move. And I feel like they have to uphold a certain level of interaction to make it make sense in their minds. Not necessarily that it needs to make sense in the actual physicality. In their minds, it looks good.
Okay, so let me get back to when I was talking about not moving to girls. So especially with the whole Me Too movement, what's happening now is, like this is all, I've always been this way before, but I'm going to say to men, the reason why, we don't know what for one woman it's okay to pull up on and say do the whole Chris Brown thing, excuse me miss, the whole 90s R&B, like pull up in the car, it might be cute for you, for another woman it might be a red flag, it might trigger trauma, right? So it's pretty safe for me to say that if you want a man to come up to you, and this is what women used to do of old, you will let a man know. There's a lot of ways that a woman can let a man know that she wants him to come up to her. She can, listen, we have all these women here. I'm sure if you wanted to let a man know to approach you, you know how to do it. Women have been doing this forever, right? You can look at a man, you can smile at a man, you can wink, you could even walk past him and drop something and make him pick it up and make him come to get it, and then you can do that, right? Women know how to make a man know to approach you. That's the difference between a random girl walking past me and me trying to grab up her arm and say, excuse, she's like, who are you? She's going about her business yet.
It's called yes and no.
What do you mean?
It's a simple yes and no.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're saying that a woman lets you know whether she's interested. Yes, come. No, I'm not interested. It's a simple yes or no.
No. So as a woman, I don't even have to get to that point. I don't have to approach you. You can literally look at me, and if you look at me in a way that you want
if I give you a look right now, that makes you feel like I like you. What's happening?
I'll approach you.
Approach me how?
What do you mean?
What's your approach? What I said, what's your approach? I've winked at you. I don't know. I start licking my lips. I don't know.
I'll be like,
what do you do?
I'll be like, you need some Vaseline?
Clearly, I've already got gloss, so is that
no, but you're licking your. You
get it?
No. You asked me. No, you stop it. You've asked. No, wait,
guys.
No. Pearl, hold on a second.
We're not on the original topic. We need to move on. Okay. So, what about you? You were next. Right? Did you go? Because we're talking about. Okay. What is your? As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.